Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. But before I get started, please click the like and subscribe button as it helps this channel grow very quickly. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. I'm going to start with this. Retail investors fire Gary Gensler as SEC chairman for obstruction of justice. Sign the petition. You could do it right here on change.org. They have almost 27,000 signatures. Do your part. Then we see this. The SEC now seems to take the position when they sued us, hey, XRP is a security and always has been. But they approved Coinbase going public even though Coinbase is not a registered broker-dealer. Think about that. And I don't believe Coinbase will ever end up in court with the SEC, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So XRP first came to $3.40 4 years ago. I believe it was actually $3.84. XRP is around 33 cents today. Today's price does not erase all the development and adoption over the past 4 years. The price is only a reflection of mass psychology, not progress. Ripple will be here 4 years from now at a different price. And the thing is, you would think the price would move. You would think, you hear all these new partnerships and adoption through banks, and the price just stays the same. Nothing moves it. I believe everything is very suppressed right now. Bigger picture, if the SEC wins, the US will be last in the implementation of Internet of Value. Ripple moves overseas and continues what they're already doing. This is nothing but delaying the inevitable. Nothing can stop what's coming. XRP is a blessing. I don't believe Ripple will ever leave the US. I believe we're going to see a settlement, or maybe the SEC just drops the case against Ripple. Maybe it will have to do with the emails. We're never seeing those emails. Thanks for sharing this article. The article shows the mistake of thinking the SEC is not advancing its strategy of gaining control over cryptos just because it's faced setbacks and some procedural defeats in the Ripple matter. Strategy is everything. The Wahi complaint may reflect a new, more aggressive strategy by the SEC. The SEC functionally can argue 11 cases in one. 9 cases alleging that certain digital assets are improperly issued securities, and 1 case against the named defendants for security laws violations, and 1 case implied against all intermediaries that offer trading in those 9 digital assets to U.S. customers. Now, I believe that was done to kind of play down what's going on with XRP. I think he had to go and look for something else he could call a security. This way it looks like he's actually doing something other than just going after XRP. But I might be wrong. But the thing is, I believe Gary Gensler's there for one purpose, to hold back XRP. So it's good enough for China to ask the SEC, Gensler, to protect the Chinese investors' assets. But at the same time, the SEC goes after the U.S. company Ripple and the U.S. citizens. I don't get it. Also, Gensler said in the past XRP is a bridge currency, but now is keeping it quiet. Again, because he's there to hold back XRP. It's not time for XRP to take off yet. Something else needs to happen first. We just don't know what that is yet. Explain why the SEC would risk losing Ripple as a U.S. company and let them thrive somewhere else at the expense of calling it a security. What did the SEC gain? Other departments would step in ideally. You would think somebody by now would have said, hey, listen, you need to drop this case. We need to move forward with innovation. We have to catch up to the rest of the world. But no, nothing. Gary Gensler, how long? Our government is always behind. China and Russia will become the world's #1 economy. We don't have half of their population, yet we have great minds creating the world's new financial system, and we have the SEC stopping us. People are starting to understand, though, that the SEC is holding everything back. They understand the US has to catch up at this point, but yet nothing happens. So, Bill Hinman, D.C., took the bribe. Clayton filed the lawsuit as he was leaving the SEC. Gary is having his legal team lie, switch stance to win motions, delay justice, and stretch the definition of the law, all for a crypto power grab. The thing is, I believe that Gary came in at the right time to hold everything up. I think his purpose was just to delay everything and continue to delay it until they tell him, now's the time to settle. Let's get this thing over with. Now, this is where things are going to get strange, because I'm going to tell you what's happening here. And I was looking at the dates and everything on this, and it makes sense. Okay, so crypto is straining the power grid. Congress wants to rein in. Senator Warren, we know her, screaming for regulatory clarity and regulations as far as crypto, and others recommending regulations for crypto mining operations as carbon emissions and consumer electricity bills soar in the U.S. Now remember, carbon emissions, that's a very important word. So this happened on July 31st of this year. Then this happened. Sustainable investment. Okay, this is when BlackRock came in and said this. Is encouraged that organizations such as RMI and Energy Web are developing programs to bring greater transparency to sustainable energy usage in Bitcoin mining, and will follow progress around those initiatives. This is where you use Energy Web token to offset carbon emissions as far as Bitcoin mining. This wasn't even 2 weeks later from when Warren said this. Then this happened. The Bitcoin and crypto world knows me, but do they know my opponent, incumbent Maggie Hassan, teamed with Elizabeth Warren to attack Bitcoin miners, repeatedly requesting more KYC and other regulations, as is against free markets. She raised $10 million for re-election. Okay, now that happened on August 25th. You see what's going on here? The 31st of July, this happened. August 11th, BlackRock came in. August 25th, this lady raises $10 million for re-election. Now, I'm not saying, hey, she got her money from BlackRock. Maybe they want her in there. But it just seems like this is just falling right in line perfectly. So 95% aligned voting record with Elizabeth Warren. Says crypto is for drug sales, ransomware attacks, tax evasion, terrorism, etc. Wrote to the DOJ, IRS, DHS, SEC, and the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network with the Department of Treasury asking for more KYC and regulations on crypto. 721 says we need more stringent requirements for cryptocurrency exchanges, kiosks, and OTC trading desks. Sent letters to 6 Bitcoin mining companies about energy usage on January 28th of this year. Voted to increase federal control and regulatory authority over international cryptocurrency mining operations in September of 2021. That's what's been going on. So, relist XRP. Coinbase files SEC petition calling for fair crypto regulation. This was on August 28th of this year. Think about that. So from July, Warren wants regulations. BlackRock comes in, partners up with Coinbase. This lady comes in, right, on the 25th, and then on the 28th, Coinbase wants regulations also. Does that not seem way too convenient? I don't know. I might be wrong on that, but something doesn't look right. See above and below and realize the cabal and their puppet politicians are selling us out to gain favor with China. BlackRock sells out U.S. interests for personal favors in China, Consumer Group Director says. So we know BlackRock is tied to China. Lots of ties there. We know the U.S. government, I believe, sold us out a long time ago to China. And the thing is, I believe Elizabeth Warren only wants regulations when it suits her friends. When her friends say, listen, you need to get regulations, go talk about crypto and regulations. Then all of a sudden she runs to the mountaintops, cries out for regulations and regulatory clarity, and then what happens? Nothing. It's all talk, while Gary Gensler holds back XRP in a lawsuit. But then I want to talk about this. So these are the companies that are owned in part by BlackRock stock and in the parent company. So remember I said in yesterday's video, I can't understand why the news medias are not talking about CBDCs. Well, maybe because BlackRock, who's tied to the World Economic Forum, we'll talk more about that in future videos, also is tied to MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, and Time Warner Cable. Plus, they're tied to Verizon. And the thing is, remember we also talked about the little stores, the mom and pop gas stations and hardware stores closing down? Well, there's no place for them in the new world. Not when you have Lowe's and Home Depot. And the gas stations, we already know that BlackRock is tied to oil somehow, some way. But at the end of the day, this is what it comes down to. As far as an XRP investor, I feel that it's time that Gary Gensler ends this lawsuit and lets XRP fly. Let's XRP get unleashed on the entire world and get things moving. Innovation then can move forward in the US. But XRP does something else. If they got regulatory clarity, it would be something that echoed through the entire crypto space all at once. Cryptos like XLM, XDC, Algo, IOTA, they would start taking off also. Any crypto that has any type of utility behind it, HBAR, Casper, DAG, those cryptos would also start taking off. We would have a regulatory framework in place for new cryptos to follow. We would have something great happening all at once. Instead, I still believe we're very held back at this point. The next video that I do will continue from where we left off on this one, most likely, because I found even more shocking stuff that I couldn't even believe was going on. But anyway, with that said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. I want to thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.